All right, let's go over how you can attach marketing attribution information that you would normally see in Google Analytics. So that's like source, medium, campaign, etc., to a specific contact in whatever system you're using, CRM, whatever you're doing. So I'm assuming that you have a website with a contact form, could be a lead form, whatever, a booking form, doesn't matter, but you're capturing your contacts. Someone contacts you, they become a lead in your CRM, right? And you want to attach to that record in the CRM the marketing attribution information for this specific contact. Okay. The simplest way to do that, not the most robust, but the simplest way to do that is to add hidden forms to whatever your contact form is and use Google Tag Manager to fill those forms with the things that are pretty much what Google Analytics or any attribution tool, right? Any marketing tool, any website analytics tool uses to generate the source, medium, campaign, etc. fields that you're used to, right? So let me show you how this works. First, you can see here that I've got hidden form fields, right? I'm going to review what these are. I've got first touch and last touch. You could just do first touch. You could just do last touch if you wanted. If you want sort of complete information, you want both. Hey, where was the first time that this person came to the website? What was the last time they came to the website? Oftentimes they're the same, but for completeness, you can put both, right? Then you're going to want to track some key pieces of information. I always like to track the landing page, where they actually landed, right? Including those UTM parameters, the HTTP refer that they came from, and then I use that information, just like Google Analytics, to break that out into the UTM or marketing attribution parameters you're used to seeing. So that's source, medium, campaign, content, term, right? I also sometimes include gclid because that can be useful. Finally, it's really useful if you're using Google Analytics to include the GA client ID as well. All of this is just kind of the GA client ID is really future proofing. So that way later, if you end up doing some combination of Google Analytics data with your CRM data, you can do it at a super granular level because you get the GA client ID attached to the email address up here. Okay. Cool. So that's what I want to do here. Why am I tracking the landing page and the refer? Why not just source, medium, campaign, right? The reason, again, is a little bit of future proofing. All attribution information is ultimately derived from two pieces of information, the landing page and the refer. That's the source of truth. All of the other things, source, medium, campaign, content, those are all derived from just the landing page and the refer. So if down the road you realize that you weren't putting UTM parameters into your Facebook ads, right? But you can see the FD click ID in the landing page URL, right? Then you would at least be able to know in data analysis or whatever that, hey, even if I don't see a source as Facebook, I know it came from Facebook because of the FB click ID, right? That's an example. So that's why we want to always track the landing page and the refer as well, just so that way down the line, when we notice that there's something that's wrong with the attribution model that we're sort of rigging together here with source medium campaign, we can correct that by looking at the landing page URL. Always good to track the most granular piece of information at the point of tracking that you can. Okay, so how does this work? As you see here, we have hidden form fields on our contact field, and we're going to use this Google Tag Manager recipe here to fill those forms without our users ever having to be aware that we're filling those forms, right? So cool. How do we do that? It turns out that Simo Ahava has created exactly what we need. Persist campaign data, right, is a tag template. You can do it for first touch. You can do it for last touch. I have it configured for both here, right? And then I need a little script here that takes Simo Ahava's persist campaign data tag and the associated variables, right? Which are here, these first party cookies, right? And just write them into our write them into our form fields. So let me show you exactly how that works. Here's what it's look like without Google Tag Manager, right? And we're going to put Google Tag Manager in preview mode, and you're going to see exactly how this works. Oh, cool. So let's do it. I'm going to go preview, right? Notice my preview has some dummy UTM parameters, source, medium, etc. Right? When I do that and I load it up, right? Here's the page, and you can see it loaded the landing page, right? It loaded the refer, which in this case is Google Tag Manager, right? And then it used that information to derive what would be the source, medium, campaign, and term, if available, in content, if those are in the URL. So you can see that some of them are, including gclid, some of them aren't. So it leaves those blank, right? First touch and last touch are the same in this case because I'm doing this for the first time, right? But if they were different, those would fill in differently. All right, cool. So to my user, it looks like this, right? Exactly the same thing. And when I fill in this information, nothing changes. But these hidden fields have been filled with this, and I hit submit form, right? And our little demo here shows me, hey, these were the fields that were visible and submitted, and these are the hidden attribution fields. These are everything I need. This is complete. This would let me do whatever I wanted from an attribution perspective, right? The key after this is wherever that form gets submitted, if it gets submitted directly to your CRM or some form tool that you have or whatever, you have to set up the pipes to get that into whatever your final destination is. So again, if it's a CRM, right, this form is getting submitted to your form tool, right? And you need to set up the pipes to make sure that those fields get added to the contact in your CRM. For instance, if you're using Pipedrive and you're doing, I don't know, a Zapier integration with your form submission, you need to set up Zapier to add those fields to Pipedrive, and you need to make sure that Pipedrive accepts those fields, right? That's how this works. Okay, couple other implementation type details, right? First, I do have here recommended uh, fields, right? I recommend that you do name equals first, refer first, name equals marketing source on the inputs. So that's what these actually look like in the HTML. They have this name parameter, right? Let's see where are those. Right. So you want to make sure that those have those actual fields there, right? That's one, right? You can change the names if you want, right? I recommend these because they work really well. And this recipe that I've included in this blog post will just work out of the box if you name your hidden fields the same names that you have here, right? If not, if you can't do that for technical reasons, you can come in here and change them in the containers. So you can see here we have landing page first, right? This is the input CSS selector that will be used, right? Same for refer, refer first, right? So that's how you would update that. If you can't name your fields whatever you want in your form, you can change the way that the template loads when you do it. Okay, cool. Pretty straightforward, right? Very simple, super fast way to do this, right? And you can, quickly get this information attached to the end user. Like I said, it's not the most robust thing, but it is super quick and it's super helpful in a lot of cases if you're not prepared to like set up a data warehouse and do the kind of attribution modeling that we would normally do for a really robust data setup, right? This is a quick and dirty way to get that done. Okay, cool. Hope you find this helpful. Subscribe to our channel for more data tips like this.